Today, we're going to be looking at the cheapest and most expensive vehicles that you can lease right now. I'm going to walk you through the five most expensive and then the five cheapest. And then at the end, we'll dive into some commentary. To measure this, we'll be using the all in monthly lease price of the vehicle, which means we've rolled in the down payment and all other expenses into that monthly payment, so that we can accurately compare the prices across lease offers. And all of this data is available on our website, cardeals.fyi, where we track every lease deal across the entire country. And that's where we got these numbers from. And again, you can look at that for free. All right, so let's get started with the five most expensive vehicles you can lease in the US right now. In fifth place is the Rolls-Royce Spectre at $6,119. In fourth place is the Aston Martin Vanquish at $6,318 per month. In third place is the Rolls-Royce Phantom at $6,372 per month. In second place is the Rolls-Royce Cullinan with a monthly cost of $6,381. And in first place, the most expensive vehicle you can lease in the entire country right now is the Lamborghini Revuelto at $10,345 per month. That's pretty expensive. Okay, now let's come back down to earth and look at the five cheapest vehicles you can lease in the country right now. In fifth place is the Volkswagen Taos at $323 per month. In second place is the Volkswagen Jetta at $318. In third place is the Hyundai Elantra at $315. In second place, the Subaru Crosstrek at $305. And in first place, the cheapest vehicle you can lease in the entire country right now is the Nissan Sentra at $292 per month, all in. So now that we looked at the numbers, let's talk about them. We'll start with the most expensive. So looking at the list of most expensive, overall, it makes sense. These are some of the highest MSRP vehicles available on the market today. So it makes sense they also have the highest lease prices. But notably, the Rolls-Royce Spectre in fifth place is slightly surprising just because it's a relatively new vehicle and it's kind of the flagship for Rolls-Royce at the moment, other than the Phantom. Originally, it was supposed to sort of bring in a new era for the brand, but its slightly lower price kind of makes sense given the decrease in demand for electric vehicles overall, especially when you consider they started the Spectre program during, the boom of EVs. So they probably anticipated a lot more demand than there actually is today, which is why they're being discounted, at least relative to other Rolls Royces. And the Cullinan, also kind of surprising. That vehicle's been around for a while, but demand seems to be holding up. Okay, so now let's talk about the cheapest vehicles. First thing, mildly surprising that there are two Volkswagens on this list. They are a semi-premium position brand, so they're not always at the bottom here. The other thing you'll note is these are all small sedans and hatchbacks, except the Taos, which is like almost an SUV. But one model is notably missing from this list, which is the Chevy Equinox, which for months now has been one of the most heavily discounted vehicles nationally. And even today, when you go dive into the actual deals, you can definitely find all-in Chevy Equinox lease deals for less than some of the ones on this list, talking between $250 and $300 all in per month. But it looks like now there are also some more expensive lease offers on the Equinox, so it no longer features among the cheapest on average across the nation. All right, and that's all for today, folks. And again, you can browse all of this data and more for yourself on our website, cardeals.fyi.